Men of Reddit, what makes a woman undateable? Needy when not together, absent when together. She keeps going back to her ex. If she is surrounded by drama and always talks about other people. She is totally in charge but you are totally irresponsible. They're so hung up on being bitter about a previous relationship, all you hear about is how horrible men and their exes in particular are. Want to go from coffee date to engaged in 3 weeks. 6,000 where are you tonight? What are you doing with who texts while you're watching a Disney movie with your kids? Why do you want time alone with your friends? I'm happy to tag along, everywhere. Basically, same stuff that makes men undateable. Not taking responsibility for her own actions. If everything is always someone else's fault, that's going to land on me at some point. No thanks. When she tries to sell you oceanfront property in Arizona, she makes you feel like you're walking on eggshells all the time. Death. They are a man named Randy and not actually a hot single MILF in my area. Their husband. She talks a lot but doesn't give you a turn to talk, or vice versa, makes you do all the talking. Having a rules for thee, not for me mentality. For me, it's when someone says I don't want to date you. That's pretty much where I draw the line. If you can't resolve your problems, be they with me or someone else, without shouting, fighting or causing drama, I don't want to know. I'm a grown-ass adult. I don't want to shout and scream or throw a temper tantrum like a petulant child. If I have a problem I want to talk it out and come to a reasonable resolution where all parties feel heard and happy. Also, if you can't live without social media and drama, I am not on any social media beyond Reddit and I despise drama. If you want to go getting into everyone's business and can't spend more than an hour away from Facebook etc, then it's just not going to work out. I want a quiet life where I can look after me and mine without the stress of constant drama or fighting. I don't care what other people I barely know are doing, and if we can't resolve our problems through a logical discussion instead of arguing, I'm not going to stick around. Bad hygiene and having a smug personality. Being mean to animals or anyone for that matter, like just being an ass to everyone. No personal accountability. Everything bad is always somebody else's fault. There's nothing more unsexy than a perpetual victim. For me it's smoking. I can't stand that. Also MLM entrepreneur. Went on a date years ago and before drinks even arrived at dinner she was trying to sell me on some makeup brand that she was selling. Went on the entire date. There are plenty other guys that want your spot. If she has a boyfriend, thinks Sonic's arms should be blue or doesn't like homemade signature medallions, she doesn't put in it the effort you are putting in with her. She is a to the staff at a restaurant. Irrational beliefs and willful ignorance. One of the worst things out there in any person irrespective of sex, gender, age, culture, etc. I am assuming a mentally healthy person. I wouldn't make the same judgment on someone struggling with mental health issues. When they show much interest and then suddenly ghost you for no reason. Feels bad, man. If she's interested in me, that's a giant red flag. When she's walking around and screaming Hail Hitler all the time. Probably the same thing that makes men undateable, the worst quality in any human of any gender, arrogance, cruelty, selfishness, foolishness, stupidity. If she's a cryptocurrency scam artist. Lack of hygiene. If she doesn't think it's okay to have friends of the opposite sex. Poor hygiene. Astrology obsession. Addiction. Speaking from experience. Liar. The fact that she exists only in your imagination. When she's not looking to date. Spends more than she earns without even trying to get better at it. Tattooed eyebrows that don't look natural. Phone internet addiction. Everything is about their ex. Abusing servers, clerks, etc. Insufficient personal hygiene. Lack of ambition. When we're married after less than a month. Expectations of toxic masculine traits as normalized relationship goals. Men don't eat desserts. Men pay for dates exclusively. Men are not allowed to cry. Men are the breadwinners that I'm never working a day in my life because I've never had to before. Capitalizing on the pride of men and considering non-toxic people as not being truly masculine men, etc. Face tattoos, for me anyway. Disliking cats. Crickets. Bad breath. Lying makes anyone un-dateable. Heavy social media usage. Underage. Not being able to admit fault eventually. I understand the first 48 hours of feeling justified or creating a reason, but once the argument has cooled down and you still can't just apologize even though they are clearly in the wrong makes me question the way that woman thinks. Being very fat. Kids. I respect the fact that she have kids. This is fine. I wish her the best. I just won't date her. Being a jerk. You guys are being too philosophical on this one. The correct answer is toenail fungus. Holding you to different standards that they hold themselves if she expects you to always be calm, but often yells and screams. Done if she gets mad about you having friends who are women, but craves attention from male friends. Done if she gets upset about you following or interacting with provocative content on social media, but also posts proactive content. Done if she thinks it's okay to hit you when she's mad, unutterable and criminal. BTW, this definitely goes both ways. Men who do this to women are also un-dateable. She doesn't return the cards after putting the groceries in the car. I'm not a man, but I've dated women. I'm sure some can relate. Ex of mine would spread rumors to make me feel vulnerable, but I didn't know it was her. She would pretend to comfort me, and if I tried to call her out on her or tell her to stop something, she'd bring up that she's always there for me and why I'm not the same. Basically manipulative F. Gaslighting to no end. She doesn't date. 1. Pyramid schemes. 2. Those weird drawn on eyebrows. 3. Fat. 4. Actual, recreational belief in astrology. 5. Controlling behavior. 6. Bipolar or other serious, unmanageable mental illness. 6. Expects me to get into bar fights for her. 7. Fat. 8. Extreme political beliefs. Either a Q cultist or a communist. She's a smoker. Being a Karen. As it turns out, not being my wife is an issue. That she feels entitled to be treated as a queen while they treat their partner as the janitor.